I'm going to show you how you can use CSS to control style and also overwrite different styles. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is something we've done in the past, is change the heading color. So if you remember, we type in the selector H1 and this will apply it to all of the H1s, and because I'm coding this correctly, there's only one H1 on the page, the main heading. And here I would say color. Let me have a look at some colors here. Might open a new tab and see what other colors I can come up with. Yeah, let's choose that purple color. Okay, so we now have purple, and you can see we've got that purple color as our H1. Now, if I wanted to apply this to all the headings on my page, and I've coded it correctly, H1 is the first one, it's the most important one. Then I have an H2. You do not jump straight to H3. What's supposed to happen is you kind of nest the hierarchy. So if you have an H1, you should have an H2 within that H1. Then if you're going to have H3, they are within the H2, which is up here. And I've got that repeated down here, H2, H3, H3. So we can see how we've nested the hierarchy there. Now what I could do if I wanted this purple color to apply to the H2s and the H3s is I could copy and paste this code and change the selector to H2 and H3. So I could do it this way. And if I save that, we'll see they all, when I remember to put H2 and H3, we can say they've all changed, but this is not an elegant solution. In coding, an elegant solution is where you're using the least amount of code necessary to achieve your aim. What is the least amount of code? Well, I actually create a list of selectors. So H1, comma, H2, comma, H3. And the commas mean that it is applying it to H1, H2, and H3. And you can see we've achieved the same effect, which is great. And that's wonderful if you want a whole heap of headings to be that color. But what if we want to overwrite it? What if we want what to do in CFID to be a different color? Well, in that case, what we can do is create a class. A class is a custom-made selector. So we've got a full stop starts it, because if we're doing it without the full stop, it's a tag, a selector tag, and it will apply to all of those tags. But here I want to be selective, so I'm going to say full stop. And what's another color we've got here? We've got navy. So let's grab the navy, full stop navy, and I will do color and the hex code. This, by the way, is an extension called Palette Tab, and it's actually pretty cool. It comes up with different color palettes every time you open a new tab, and it comes up with examples of different web fonts. So I find it just nice to keep on top of different color schemes and web fonts. Now you can see with this navy, it hasn't applied to any of my headings because I haven't actually applied it to the HTML. The CSS keeps the style completely separate from the HTML, which is ideal. And so here we need to apply it in if we want it to work. So with this H2, let's apply it there. We'll say class equals navy and then save it. And there we go. That's turned navy. Nothing else is navy. If I want to apply that to another heading, say cafes and restaurants, again, class equals navy. And we'll save that. And cafes and restaurants is also navy now. And so that's handy if there is a particular style you want to apply to multiple elements on your page. Now I want to show you another thing that you can do with the classes, and that is if I create a new class and call it, say, black background and background color black. Okay, let's save that. In fact, let's also go dot white. I'm going to create a new one and we'll just call this color white. Okay, great. So let's have a look at another one of our headings here. This H3 doesn't have any other classes, so I'm going to put class equals white, and if I save that, it's vanished because we've got a white background and we've got white text. But looky here what we can do. We can say black background, save, and it's applied both of those styles. It's applied white and it's applied black background to the same element. There's a space in between them. So as opposed to CSS where you use a comma between them if you wanted to apply to multiple elements, if you want to apply multiple classes to an HTML element, you need a space between them. So white space, black background, and that applies both of them. Now if I then apply, let's try applying navy, and I'll save that, and we can see that does not overwrite the white for the color. So you can see that's still white there. I'm going to show you something really strange though. I'm going to select the white from there and I'm going to paste it above the navy. So now in the CSS we've got white above navy, and that has overridden our color. Even though we've got white background, black background, and then navy, because we've got white before navy in the CSS, that has overwritten it. Whereas if I put the white below the navy, if you have a look, there we go. So just be cautious of trying to use CSS order of classes to try to overwrite things. Typically it will present a problem there, so I'm going to delete that because you don't need to apply two colors to the same element. Okay,